I have to ask one question. Do you want to know the absolute fastest way to rank a brand new local SEO site on page 1? Hey everybody, Matt Wacek here. Welcome back to a brand new video. And who would not want to rank their sites faster? So I'm sure every one of you watching, your answer to that question was yes, which is kind of a given. But today I want to share with you my strategy that I've been putting to use for quite some time now, and I've seen great results with it versus the other strategy, which I will talk about here as well, with building out more than just going with an MVP, which is a minimum viable product. So minimum viable product is where you basically just do the minimal work to get the market's response and then make a determination if you want to continue on or make adjustments, that sort of stuff. It's very popular in the software world. You'll see also companies like Apple, which are constantly doing new software updates for their phones or for their computers or whatever. So it's very commonplace. And this strategy here that I'm going to show you is what I do with all of my sites. And I've tested this so many times with not doing a minimum viable product, and I'll get into exactly what I mean by not doing it here in a second when we hop into my computer. But the results with starting lean with a site have been way better than going and doing a whole bunch of work on page, and then it's basically like trying to push a boulder up a mountain when it comes to getting the site to rank. But anyways, without further ado, let's hop into my computer and take a look and break down this whole strategy and technique and how you can implement it with your own sites. Alright, so we're going to start off with single city focus sites. And real quick, if you don't know what a single city focus site is, I will get into it here in a second with the goals of it. But if you guys don't know the 3 different website structures for these types of sites that we build with local affiliate SEO, or to sell the leads directly to a business, leave a comment below letting me know that you guys would like to see a website structure video, because these 3 different style sites all work tremendously, but there are different ways in which that you approach the content creation on the website and the linking strategy as well. So anyways, leave a comment below if you want to see a video on that, and I can do one of those in the next couple weeks. And if you're watching this 6 or 12 months in the future, then just search the channel for it, and I'm sure it will probably be somewhere on here. So anyways, a single city focus site, the entire goal is to just absolutely dominate one city for a particular niche. So what that means is not just, let's say we have an electrician website. We'll get into the structure here, but let's say we have an electrician website. We of course want to rank number 1 for electrician in that particular city. Let's say it's Minneapolis, even though that's probably a very competitive keyword. But you also want to rank for other services in the electrician niche. So this would be things like home wiring or electrical panel upgrade, home generator or home backup generator installation, ceiling fan installation, light replacement, that sort of stuff. All those other services that fall underneath that category, you want to rank for those keywords in addition to just electrician Minneapolis. Now, how you want to approach the MVP for building a site, let's use lawn care for example, is the first thing that you're going to do is find the city that you're going to work in. Now, I've done videos on finding the niches and all that sort of stuff. Go watch those videos. I'm not going to talk about niche and location research on this, but what you want to do is go to Google and have keywords everywhere, or if you want to use SEMrush, or if you want to use any of the other aggregators out there for search data, go and plug in lawn care in that city and then landscaping in that city. Or if you're doing the electrician niche, electrician in that city, or electrical contractor in that city, whatever it might be. Or if you're doing in the HVAC niche, it might be HVAC in that city, or it could be AC repair. That could have more volume. But either way, what the goal is here is you're going to take the keyword, let's say it's Minneapolis again, you're going to take whichever keyword has higher search volume and higher cost per click, and yeah, the CPCs can vary a little bit, but take whichever one has the higher search volume and make that the full-on title of the homepage. So let's say it's Minneapolis landscaping, that is going to be more competitive than Minneapolis lawn care. And the reason we do this is because the homepage is going to receive the most links. It's going to get all of the links from the citations. It's going to get a ton of PBN links. It's going to get all the social signals, unless you set it to go to other pages. But it's going to get a vast majority of the links. So you want it to be the most competitive keyword that one site's going to target. So what you want to do is you build out a site, ideally with Elementor Pro, or unless you have another builder that you like to use, and you're going to go and you're going to build a page all about landscaping services in Minneapolis. And if your plan is to scale out beyond just landscaping the broad term, and you want to scale to paver patios Minneapolis, retaining walls Minneapolis, mulch Minneapolis, decorative rock, all that sort of stuff, you do not mention any of those services on that page. You don't mention it in the meta title. You don't mention it in the meta description. You just keep it broad about landscaping and landscape design. That is it. That's all you mention on that. 400 to 500 words is ideal with imagery, maybe even a YouTube embed, but basically you want to have it look good and be impactful. So then if you were doing this in the electrician niche, you'd have just that one page all about electrician in that city, residential and commercial electrician in that city, emergency electrician in that city. And those are just some examples of the H2 headlines that you could put on there. And then of course you fill in with content and images, calls to action, all that sort of good stuff. And if you're doing this in the electrician niche or in plumbing or that sort of stuff, you're pretty much stopping right there. So this is where the MVP comes into play. Now there are a couple different ways that you can go about this. If you, by the way, which your domain should be that city with that broad term service that you went with the homepage, which, so this one would be Minneapolis landscaping, you can either stop right here, and this would be the true MVP, or if you want to branch out because you're going to get aggressive with building links, you can build out a page here if you are doing a niche like lawn care, landscaping, tree service, snow removal, where a lot of these services are complementary and they do fall into the same niche where you can build out another page and it wouldn't make too much of a difference because it is still kind of a broad term keyword with lawn care, irrigation, tree service, snow removal, those types of services, but it's not a subservice. It's not lawn mowing, it's not lawn aeration, it's not sprinkler blowouts, it's not those subservices underneath the category. So either way, then you have Minneapolis lawn care and you just title the page lawn care in Minneapolis, and that's all you write about, lawn care Minneapolis. You don't get specific or anything like that, and you just leave it as such. And so that, everybody, is an MVP. It's a 1 to 2 or 3 page site in terms of landing pages for optimized for those specific broad term services if they complement each other. You don't want to have a landscaping page on a website domain that's for Minneapolis electrician. It doesn't make any sense. Yes, it could rank for it, but if someone's going through the search results and they see the URL is Minneapolis electrician and then they see landscaping for the meta title and then in the description it's about landscaping, they're going to be a little confused and the click-through rate's not going to be that great. And if you really wanted to keep the site as lean as you possibly could, you could actually not even do a second page. You just have the one page site for now, and then of course you have your request a quote page, privacy policy page, and terms of service pages, because you got to have those things as well. But that is an MVP. And then what you do now is the reason we are keeping it super lean in terms of how much is on this particular website. So what you're going to do next is go and get your citations. So you're going to go and get like the Yext citations, and I would recommend just going to a vendor on Legit and having them build it for 5 to 10, 20, 25 bucks or something like that. Because otherwise it's a lot of time invested. And if you place any value on your time, 25 bucks for what would probably be 4 hours of work is a no-brainer. So ideally those citations, as well as the top 50 citations, which are just a ton of random other directories that are all within United States businesses, then get those built out. And then the next thing you want to do is social signals immediately. And the reason for this is because that will basically send a signal to Google right away that, okay, this is a legit website, social media is going crazy over it, so we got to recognize it. And that's what it's figuratively saying to Google, even though it's all just robots and AI and that sort of stuff doing this. But that's what you do then. Then you want to wait about a month and you start building PBNs. And as you start to see your site rank maybe on page 2 or ideally page 1 for whatever that main keyword is for that homepage, that is when you scale out the site. You don't want to, I've done it so many times with so many sites where I've built out 15 pages to do all this work. Then when it comes time to rank, it is straight up like pushing a boulder up a mountain, and it is not fun. And then you end up having to build more links than needed because the site does not have enough authority to just automatically, boom, place that new page on the first page. So what I mean by scaling out with a single city focused site is going to be other services that fall underneath that broad term category. So for a landscaping site, this is going to be a paver patio page. Then you have one for retaining walls. Then you have one for mulch installation and delivery. You have one for rock installation and delivery. Lawn and landscape drainage, grading out lawns, installing sod, installing hydro seed, all of that sort of stuff. Just go to any landscaping company's website, look through all the services that they offer, or go to Home Advisor, learn about them, and become well versed on them. So that is what I mean by, and the beauty of going with the MVP route is that this site already has a ton of authority going to it. You've got probably several PBN links built to it. You have social signals, you have citations, so it looks trustworthy, all this sort of stuff. And you have all that energy going into just this one little hub. And then all of a sudden you branch out. It's almost like a gigantic tree that looks like a telephone pole, all of a sudden expanding out with branches, and then pretty soon it's just sky high up at the top. Same exact principle here with our web, with it being sky high up at the top. those are going to be page 1 rankings, if not at the top of page 1 for a lot of these keywords, because a lot of companies don't really target paver patios in that particular city or retaining walls or any of these other subservices. They're just going for the broad term keyword, which if you can outrank them with that, it's very likely that you'll be able to outrank pretty much everybody for the paver patio and the other subservices like that. So same thing with the HVAC niche. Let's say the homepage is just all about HVAC or whatever your chosen keyword is, and then you branch out with an air conditioning repair page. And then you branch out with a furnace repair page. Same exact principle right here. And ideally, you want to wait about a month before you do your first PBNs. You don't want to be building out any of these subservice pages until this homepage here is ranking ideally on page 1. Just wait. It's going to be a lot easier. Yes, I know it's tempting. Oh man, I'm on page 2. Just wait till you get to page 1, and it's steadily there for a couple weeks, because sometimes the search does jump around. Where one of my sites is sitting 7th on page 1, and then a week later it drops off, and then it kind of ticks back up, and things shift a little bit. But you want to make sure that it's steadily on the ideally top half of page 1, then branch out. Then it'll be nearly instant, because as soon as those pages are indexed, you're going to have those rankings. You're going to see more traffic and more conversions. And as an added bonus, if you have a GMB connected to your site with a link to your website, Google will eventually crawl your site, and it will see that your website mentions paver patios and retaining walls and that sort of stuff. And that gives you a higher likelihood, as long as your categories for the GMB are set up for that particular service, it will mention beneath it in the map pack that their website mentions retaining walls, or their website mentions paver patios or paver installers, that sort of stuff. It really helps not only boost click-through rate, but then of course your traffic and your conversions. And that is how you dominate an entire city for a niche. Because in addition to all of these landscaping pages, you do the same thing with lawn care. And you send links to the lawn care page, get that ranking, expand out to lawn aeration, dethatching, lawn mowing, fall cleanups, leaf removal, all that sort of stuff. And that's how you take a brand new site from essentially nothing, build trust and authority while it's ridiculously lean, because then it's basically just like carrying a baseball up a mountain rather than trying to push a 1,000-pound boulder to get to the top of the search results for all the different keywords you're trying to rank for. Now, if you like this type of strategy and this technique, go down and leave a like. Lets me know that you guys like this type of strategy, and hopefully you put this to use in your business, because it's a lot easier to carry a baseball than it is to push a boulder. And I know I've said that analogy several times, but it's really actually true. Now, when it comes to a Magic Page plugin site, the goal and the best way to get results with this software is going to come from a state-focused domain. So let's just do landscaping Tennessee, for example. And the way that the software is set up is to really just optimize for one service and one service only. So if you wanted to do broad term, you could do that if you have a budget for a lot of links. Or if you don't have that big of a budget, you could do it for one service that falls underneath the category. So it could be paver patios in Tennessee, or it could be lawn dethatching in Maine, or whatever it is that you want to do, whatever area you want to target. So that's what you want to do. You want to have a state-focused domain, and the homepage is going to be all about that one service and one service only, because we don't expand beyond other services with these types of sites. So what the goal is with this site is to dominate the entire state with that one particular service, and one service, one keyword only. That's it. You just build another domain if you want to go target another service in that same state. And that's just the way that the software is structured to build out pages. So what you're going to do is you're going to have main, I think it's ME for the abbreviation, main dethatching. We'll do an example for that. Just do DET, maindethatching.com. And so for the homepage, you build content all about dethatching in the state of Maine, and with the benefits of getting your either residential or commercial properties lawn dethatched, and when to do it, all that sort of stuff. So if you don't know anything about dethatching, go research it. Very easy. Just go to a company that's in that area, learn as much as you can about the service and how to articulate it, because otherwise someone's going to be reading through that site and they're going to be like, well, this makes no sense. This is written in bad English, I'm out. And you're going to lose out a lot of conversions. So anyways, homepage is all about main dethatching. And you build one page, and we're not even going to put a Magic Page plugin on the site. You're just gonna build the one page, and then do a request quote page, privacy policy, terms of service. That's it. Just those few pages. Request quote, privacy, terms of service. And that's it. Then you go and build your citations, social signals, and then about 3 to 4 weeks you can start doing PBNs. Now, some of these sites with Magic Page plugin, as well as single city focus sites, I've been seeing about 1 out of every 6 or 7 or 8 sites do kind of get stuck in the Google sandbox, where it just takes forever to get it ranking, even with PBNs. But you really just have to keep surging on it. It's almost like it's a test of Google seeing your validity with how serious you are with the website. So I welcome the challenge. Anyways, the process is the exact same as the homepage from back over here at the single city site. As you start to see the homepage for whatever that service in that state start to climb up the rankings, ideally on the top half of the first page, as soon as you see it up there ranking, that is when you install Magic Page plugin onto your site and you follow the instructions within the software, and they'll teach you exactly how to build out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages for every single city in the entire state or a region or within a specific radius of a target city that you're going to target, which, by the way, their tutorials teach you exactly how to do this far better than I could explain ever in this video. And what the software is going to do is build out a page for every single one of those cities within that radius and everything that you set up. So you're going to have one for Portland dethatching, Bangor dethatching, any of these other cities. I don't know of any other cities in Maine, but that's exactly what the software is going to do. And because you were patient, you built the trust and authority into your site before going crazy with the software, you're going to see first or second page rankings for probably the vast majority of these cities as soon as they get indexed. And then from there, you don't have to really build that many links to get traffic, with the exception of some of the bigger cities that you might be targeting where there is some competition depending on the service you are targeting with your site. That is the rundown on MVPs. Hopefully you found this video informative, and if you did find that, please go down below, drop a like on this video. And also, if you want me to do a video on explaining these website structures as well as the directories with City Page Pro, leave a comment below. Let me know that you would like to see a website structure tutorial video, and I can definitely do that here probably within the next couple weeks. And again, if you're watching this 6 months, 12 months in the future, it's probably on the channel already. Just go search for it. So with that said, if you want to stay up to date on all the newest content that comes out here on my channel, go down below, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell for notifications so you know when the newest content comes live. If you want to get guided training on how to build websites like this, rank them in the organic search results, and monetize them with a local affiliate offer, or sell the leads directly to a business, there are links right down below to our training courses where you can get access to that step-by-step guided training and a whole lot more. So I'll see you guys in the next video.